King Charles has officially handed over the senior military role of Colonel-in-Chief of the Army Air Corps to Prince William. It is, however, a title many thought. The British royal family is facing a sad and emotional time, as King Charles III shares heartbreaking news, leaving many in panic in a move that surprised many. Prince William steps forward and has taken the lead, leaving royal fans really curious about what's going on, what's really happening, and why is Prince William suddenly taking the lead. Join us as we uncover this sad announcement of the King Charles, and the royal shift. Many people in the United Kingdom and around the world had a sense that there was something wrong with King Charles. For a while, the monarchy seemed unusually quiet, and the king was not as visible in public as before people started to realize that he was attending fewer public events and charity visits initially. It was not very noticeable. A few events were missed now and then as time passed. It became very clear the king was not showing up in his usual places. People started talking about it in hushed tones, curious about the reason his disappearance turned into a mystery that many people were eager to unravel. The royal family kept acting like everything was normal. They concentrated on their charity work, worked on improving their public image, and showed support after Princess Kate and King Charles were hospitalized recently. Queen Camilla mentioned during a trip to Belfast that the king was receiving cancer treatment and doing well. However, this did not ease everyone's worries. The fact that the king was not present was more telling than any reassurances, given people were looking for answers. Regarding the king's whereabouts, they were wondering if he was resting or facing a more serious issue. Questions arose about his absence at important events and his changed appearance in recent photos. These questions were not just ordinary inquiries, but stemmed from a genuine sense of concern and emotion. People started posting their opinions on social media. Some thought he may be sick. Others suggested there could be more to his disappearance. It wasn't just that he wasn't around that concerned people. The few photos that did come out were concerning the monarch appeared thinner in some pictures, and his expression was distant in others, with a pale face and sad eyes. These weren't just random photos. They painted a picture of someone under a lot of stress during this period. Buckingham Palace did not make any comments or issue any official statements regarding the king's condition. The lack of communication indicated that the situation was delicate and serious, leading to speculation and anxiety among the public. The absence of public messages only fueled rumors and increased concerns. The silence from the palace caused worry to escalate, and people started to imagine various scenarios, while King Charles was not. Other members of the royal family carried on with their responsibilities. Queen Camilla, Prince William, and Princess Kate made public appearances, greeted people, visited hospitals, took part in events, and fulfilled their royal duties. However, there was a sense of something missing. Despite their efforts, the void left by the king's absence became more noticeable over time. It became clear to people that this was more than just a temporary break. Something significant was unfolding within the walls of the palace. Eventually, there was a shift in the situation. The palace released a video featuring King Charles. He was sitting in what appeared to be a royal office. The setting was peaceful and calm. The king was wearing a plain suit, and his face showed signs of exhaustion. He gazed into the camera and spoke directly to the public, marking the first time in a long time. His voice was calm and soothing. He did not talk much and did not provide all the information, but his words confirmed people's fears. He had been facing serious health issues. It was severe enough to make him stop his royal duties. It wasn't just a vacation or a brief pause. It was a more serious matter. He needed time for treatment and recovery, not just rest. He did not explicitly mention resignation, but his message implied it. He urged the country and the royal family to start considering the future, while he did not provide specific names or timelines. His words suggested preparation. A subtle shift in leadership was already underway. The king was getting ready to step down. Not because of weakness, but because he recognized the responsibilities of wearing the crown. Many individuals found the moment to be emotional as they watched a man who had waited most of his life to become king discuss stepping back. This event showcased a different kind of strength, not derived from power or position, but from honesty and courage. It served as a reminder to the world that beyond the crown lies a human being who experiences illness. Pain and the difficulty of relinquishing control, royal experts started analyzing the message from the king. Even though no specific illness was mentioned, many people thought it indicated something serious like cancer or another condition. The specifics weren't as important as the fact that the king's health was complicated. This had influenced how the royal family operated and initiated a subtle yet significant change. When the king decided to take a step back, someone else had to take on a more visible role. The monarchy cannot come to a halt. It needs to carry on with King Charles, concentrating on getting better. The royal family started making changes. This marked the beginning of a new chapter in their story, catching many by surprise. Although King Charles still wears the crown, the responsibility is slowly shifting away from him. But how did King Charles prepare for this? Let's take a few steps. Back to his path to becoming king. King Charles, a long wait for the throne. Charles was unique right from the start, being the first child of Queen Elizabeth II and Prince Philip. His birth was significant, not just because it was a cause for celebration, but also because it marked him as the future king. Even as a young boy, his destiny as a future king was already established, while he may not have fully comprehended it. Initially, the weight of the crown would ultimately influence every aspect of his life. Charles was raised in a place where responsibility was very important. He lived in huge palaces and had to follow many traditions, rules, and expectations, unlike other kids who played outside. Charles had tutors, guards, and photographers, always with him. His life was very public and constantly monitored. From a young age, he did not have many moments of privacy as a child, and the burden of responsibility was always with him. His education in the beginning was very strict. He was enrolled in boarding schools that were far away from home, chosen not for comfort, but for discipline. Unlike other kids, he couldn't just be himself. Any mistake he made could be talked about publicly. Every word he said was important, despite trying to discover his true self. Society kept reminding him of who he was expected to be. This pressure influenced his reserved demeanor and made him more introspective, careful, and occasionally distant. As he grew up, he noticed the differences between him and his siblings more clearly. His sister Princess Anne was just a year younger, but had more freedom without the same pressure to one day become. The Queen Anne could live without the constant scrutiny. She could express herself more openly, take bolder actions, and live without the burden of the royal title looming over her. Although she still had duties, they were of a different nature. His younger brothers, Prince Andrew and Prince Edward, came later. When they arrived, the spotlight was already on Charles. Although Andrew and Edward lived in the royal world, they did not have the same pressure as Charles. They had titles but did not carry the same weight of destiny. Their mistakes were not scrutinized as much, and their futures were more open to change. On the other hand, Charles had to bear a responsibility that no one else could take on, while his brothers and sisters traveled and experienced different things. Charles had to follow a specific path. His responsibilities included studying, learning about history, diplomacy, and getting ready to become king. Every action he took was closely scrutinized. He couldn't avoid being noticed, even when he desired privacy. When in public, he had to put on a happy face in private. He had to mature into a man who could eventually lead the country as its king. His teenage and young adult years became more difficult because he already had his future planned out, while his peers were exploring their dreams. Charles was already set on his path. Despite having interests in art, gardening, and philosophy, those aspects of his life were often neglected. The most important thing to him was the idea of becoming a king someday. His patience while waiting to become king changed him in ways that were difficult for others to comprehend. Over the years, Charles observed his mother fulfilling her royal responsibilities with courage and poise. She reigned for many years, but Charles's turn seemed to always be just beyond his grasp. Even though he assisted his mother, represented the crown on official visits, and assumed more royal duties, he continued to be the heir apparent. He was always near the throne, but never quite reached it. The time spent waiting made him feel ready, but also exhausted. He was familiar with the rules, traditions, and expectations he had always lived in. The shadow of these things, unfortunately, most of his life was spent training for, something that he could never quite reach. Seeing others take charge while he stayed in the background tested his patience and influenced how he looked at authority. He learned to be cautious, to hold back, and to wait for the perfect moment. When his mother passed, Charles became king. It was an emotional moment for him. He had waited longer than any previous heir. Now the world was looking to him to lead the monarchy into a new era. Charles took on the role with both experience and the weight of time on his shoulders. However, as soon as he started to become comfortable in his role as king, an unforeseen event occurred. Health issues arose, causing him to take a break. Although he had recently ascended to the throne, his physical condition started to decline, despite years of anticipation and readiness. He was now faced with illness that disrupted his royal responsibilities. The confident and reliable leader he aspired to be was now disappearing from the public eye. Charles, speaking softly and looking weary, expressed his desire to take a break. This wasn't a permanent farewell, but rather a pause in his ongoing life story. The boy who was born destined for greatness now needed some time off. Despite his long wait, his reign as king unexpectedly changed direction now that he has decided to step down. Do you think William is ready for his next big step? The quiet rise of a king in waiting. The main question on everyone's mind is whether Prince William is prepared to become king. He has been one of the most well-liked members of the royal family for many years, both in the UK and around the world. People have witnessed his transformation from a shy young boy to a confident man, caring husband, and dedicated father. He is composed, polite, and easy to connect with his kindness. Contemporary ideas and empathy have garnered him admiration from many. However, the journey to the throne is not an easy one, regardless of how much people respect him. Prince William is well liked, not just because of his royal status, but also due to his behavior and interactions with others. He is known for his involvement in important events in the country, and his public appearances and charitable work demonstrate his caring nature. He is seen as someone who is considerate, understanding, and values both tradition and progress. However, Being a king is not solely about popularity. The responsibilities that come with the crown go beyond just receiving praise. And positive feedback being a king involves being the central figure in an old institution that has been around for centuries. It requires being the public image of the monarchy and taking on a leadership position that impacts the lives of many people. Each speech, decision and action holds significant importance. The expectations are high, and there is a tremendous amount of pressure. A king is expected to remain calm in times of crisis, provide comfort in times of sadness and embody stability in times of uncertainty. This role cannot be fully learned from books or training alone. It requires continuous learning, emotional resilience, and a constant awareness of the world. However many people who are close to the royal family and experts think that William is well prepared for the responsibility, he has been preparing for his future role since he was a child, learning public speaking diplomacy and how to address global issues, while other kids were learning typical childhood activities like riding bikes or playing sports. He was given a lot of help as he went through different stages of life. His father, King Charles, showed him how to handle royal responsibilities, deal with challenges in public, and stay calm in tough times. William saw how Charles found a middle ground between sticking to tradition and embracing change, and how he kept his dignity while still following his personal interests. In addition, Queen Elizabeth II also had a strong influence on him. Her calm and graceful leadership ability to handle pressure well and dedication to her country had a lasting impact on William. William did not just watch and learn. He also worked hard to fulfill his role. He became more confident as he participated in important events, represented the crown through travel, and spoke out about significant topics such as mental health and the environment. These experiences were not by chance, but rather intentional steps in his journey to become a future king. William is unique because of his talent for building connections with others. He doesn't talk down to people. He listens to them, whether he's at a hospital meeting, military families, or interacting with children on royal tours. He pays close attention to them. He maintains eye contact and makes people feel acknowledged and understood. His ability to listen and understand the needs and worries of individuals is one of his best qualities. Not just tradition. He represents a new generation and has successfully blended the royal family's traditions with a more contemporary approach. Alongside his wife, Princess Catherine, they have updated the image of the monarchy. They have raised their children to balance privacy with preparing them for their future public roles together. They demonstrate a harmonious mix of family life and royal responsibilities as his father deals with health issues and reduces his public responsibilities. Everyone is focusing on William. The tasks ahead are significant, and the timing may not have been predicted. However, William has been gradually preparing for this moment throughout his life. He has observed, gained knowledge, developed and matured. Now all those years of quiet preparation are guiding him towards a unique role that only he can fulfill. King Charles steps back, and Prince William steps forward before Prince William became the focus of attention. Everyone was watching. King Charles, the king's decision, while it was a difficult one, showed wisdom. He did not rush into it and did not take it lightly. His choice to step back was made. After careful consideration, was very personal and showed his inner strength. He could have waited and kept quiet, avoiding the public eye and letting rumors spread, but he did not. Instead, he decided to confront the truth, demonstrating that even a king can experience pain fatigue and the need for a break. King Charles was aware that the world was paying attention to him. His crown was not just a symbol of wealth and luxury, but also symbolized the responsibilities and expectations placed upon him by tradition. He had waited more than 70 years for the moment when he would wear the crown he had spent most of his life getting ready for his role as king, following in the footsteps of the monarchs who came before him, particularly his mother, Queen Elizabeth. Just as he was reaching the pinnacle of his journey, he faced a new challenge that was unlike anything he had encountered in his years of royal service. This choice did not happen quickly. It wasn't based on fear or weakness. King Charles spent weeks considering it in private. He consulted with doctors and had serious talks with family. Queen Camilla was there for him, offering comfort and support. Without judgment, she helped him understand that stepping back was about taking care of himself and putting the country first, with a composed tone, an unwavering eye contact. King Charles shared his message with the public openly, instead of concealing anything. He spoke openly and honestly. He showed gratitude to those who stood by him, shared optimism for the future, and pledged to offer guidance when necessary. As the camera focused on him for one last time, it revealed more than just a king. It showed a man who had enjoyed his position, valued the trust placed in him, and remained willing to assist, even if in a more subdued manner. When the video ended, a significant moment in history occurred. One chapter finished with grace and respect, while a new one began silently. Now all attention shifted to Prince William. William always knew that this specific moment would eventually happen, because he is the oldest son of King Charles and the late Princess Diana. He has been aware of his future role since he was a child, as the crown was always part of his destiny. Growing up, he was surrounded by royal expectations, traditions, and the constant attention of the public. Every interaction, event, and speech he participated in was all part of his preparation for his future role, despite all the training he received. No one expected this moment to come so quickly. The news from King Charles had a big impact. Suddenly, everyone's attention was on Prince William. The nation, the media, and the public all turned to him, and what they saw was a prepared individual. William did not waste time and started doing more royal responsibilities. He stood with leaders, participated in important events, and acted as a representative of the monarchy. With confidence, he remained composed and spoke clearly. He did not seek attention, but simply carried out his tasks. Efficiently, the general population started paying attention. It wasn't just the names or the occurrences. It was how he dealt with them. William did not put on a front of authority. He talked like someone who was concerned. His words were calm, yet sincere. He did not try to show off. He concentrated on listening, understanding, and replying. Princess Kate stood by her husband, showing strength and warmth. Despite her health issues, their unity was evident and reassuring, making them seem like a strong team based on love and common goals. Their quiet partnership gave people confidence in the future of the monarchy. William's influence and popularity continued to increase daily. He went to various events all over the country, interacted with ordinary people, showed kindness to children, and supported important causes. He was featured on magazine covers, followed by news channels, and praised on social media. For rising to the occasion, even people who typically weren't interested in royal news started to take notice. William was seen as embodying his mother's compassion and his father's sense of duty. He did not imitate them, but he embodied their qualities in his way. This combination made him seem approachable, authentic, and resilient. Despite receiving a lot of attention, Prince William always stayed humble and never made the situation about himself. He did not strive for applause or seek praise. Instead, he focused on his responsibilities and carried them out diligently. As a result, he not only gained admiration, but also earned the trust of others. Currently, the royal family is experiencing significant changes. While there is sadness in the air, there is also a sense of hope. Prince William is now seen as a symbol of this hope, and he is handling this responsibility with grace and compassion, rather than with bold statements. But how did other members of the royal family handle this news? Let's find out a new chapter for the royal family. The royal family has always represented stability, tradition, and continuity. However, there has been a surprising change recently that caught many off guard. The emotional impact of this change has been strongly felt within the palace and around the world. When King Charles decided to reduce his royal duties due to health issues, it significantly affected the monarchy. This decision has impacted every member of the family in a personal and individual manner. This change is not just about King Charles taking a break. It has led to a major restructuring in the royal family. Roles are changing and responsibilities are being shifted around. Everyone is being asked to do more. Step up and focus on the future. Queen Camilla, in particular, has been significantly impacted by these developments as King Charles's wife. She has supported him through thick and thin. However, her role has now evolved to more than just a supportive partner. She has become a behind-the-scenes leader. Queen Camilla may not be the main focus of attention in the media, but she has played a key role during this time of change. She has supported King Charles in dealing with the stress and unknowns related to his health. Her composed and steady demeanor has provided strength not just to her husband, but to the whole family. Through her calm leadership, she has brought reassurance to a royal household that is facing significant uncertainty. As Prince William takes on more responsibilities, Camilla has been a source of guidance for him, sharing insights from her experiences as a member of the royal family. During this period, her help has been very important, even though she doesn't look for attention. Camilla's impact is noticeable. She is knowledgeable about how the royal family functions. She knows what traditions should be kept and what should change currently. She is providing advice and support, gently assisting others in getting ready for the future changes in the monarchy. Prince William is at the heart of this change and is facing more responsibilities sooner than anticipated. He has always been aware that his turn would come, but nobody predicted it would happen so rapidly with his father taking a step back. William has quickly taken on a more prominent position. He is now representing the royal family, going to events, meeting with important figures, and fulfilling the duties of a future king. People are keeping a close eye on his actions, and up to now he has managed the pressure with a composed demeanor. While William is getting used to this new phase in his life, Prince Harry continues to be a topic of discussion in the public eye, even though he has stepped back from his royal responsibilities and now lives in the United States. With his wife Meghan, Harry is still an important figure. People are speculating about whether this period of transition could bring him back into the royal family. Some are wondering if Harry will come back to provide support during this critical period, especially with his father requiring rest and his brother taking on more responsibilities. While Prince Harry is not as involved in royal responsibilities anymore, people still remember him. The changes happening in the monarchy have led to speculation about his potential return. There is uncertainty about whether he will have a role in the future. Sparking interest, his participation, or lack thereof, could influence the direction the royal family takes in this period of transition next in line are the young royals, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis. These royal children are growing up during a period of significant change. While they may not comprehend the full impact of their surroundings, they are aware that something significant is happening. They are witnessing the adults in their lives assuming additional responsibilities and observing how duty and service influence their family's daily routine. Early experiences are influencing how they perceive what it means to be part of the royal family. They are starting to understand that being a member of the monarchy involves more than just wearing fancy headpieces or waving to the public. It involves serving the nation, respecting customs, and sticking by family. During tough times, these teachings will impact their development as individuals. Prince George, as the next in line to the throne, will eventually bear the responsibility of being the monarch. His siblings will also have duties to fulfill. They are already part of this new chapter in royalty, even if they are unaware of it at this moment. This period in history signifies the start of a new era. The royal family is not only changing responsibilities, but entering a completely new phase. It is a time of contemplation, careful strategizing, and emotional transformation. The history still holds significance. The principles and customs established over many years continue to be the foundation of the monarchy. However, there is also an increasing emphasis on the future. The new perspectives and youthful enthusiasm that will lead the royal family into contemporary times, formerly well known. Figures like King Charles and Queen Camilla will still be around. They haven't vanished or been overlooked. However, new faces, such as Prince William, are taking on more important roles. As this happens, the public is starting to envision what lies ahead more distinctly. This is a period of revitalization. It's not about things coming to an end, but rather undergoing a significant change. When a loved leader steps down, it's normal to feel sad. People worry about their health and what will happen next. But there's also optimism, a sense of hope that the new leaders are prepared and that the younger royals will step up. There's faith that the monarchy, with its rich history, will keep progressing and become even stronger. Millions of people are eagerly watching the new chapter unfold with curiosity and anticipation. People are wondering how things will change and what kind of leader Prince William will become. The influence of the younger generation on the monarchy in the future is a topic of interest with no immediate solutions. These unanswered questions will ultimately shape the future. We are not just seeing a change, but the start of a new adventure. The royal family is moving into a different time that is focused on new beginnings rather than endings. Throughout this transition, they continue to stand as a symbol of unity, strength, and hope for the country and beyond. What do you think about King Charles's announcement? Will Prince William's reign be better than his share? Your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Before you go, be sure to click on the video shown on your screen.